Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to this session where we are going to be discussing one editorial RC. Of course, you know that we are hosting these sessions every week. I'm covering one editorial from some newspaper, some magazine, some very interesting source, and we will be discussing these articles and we'll discuss some questions that I create based on these. Remember, these editorial RCs are going to be of great help to you. Why? Because I'm covering them from sources that are very popular with cat. So whether it is Aeon, whether it is Guardian, whether it is New York Times, Economist, and other such sources, I'm picking up exactly those sources of articles that cat takes. So therefore you get used to that style of writing, that style of questioning, and you get used to reading such passages also. So that's why I hope you're joining me in all of these sessions where we are covering these editorial RCs. Do make sure you're here and let's hope to crack Cat 25 in, you know, all its glory. I hope you have liked the session. If you haven't yet liked the session, please make sure that you have liked the session. Also, share the session. Please understand that if you share the session, it is of great help and happiness to us so that others can also join in. The minute I see at least 10, 12 people in the session, in the live session, it gives me excitement and enthusiasm to do more work. I want to bring more passages to you, but if it's just one or two people, then it's not as much fun for me to create also, right? So please make sure you're liking the session. I hope everybody's hit the like button. Please share and also please subscribe, because without subscribing you will not be able to participate in the chat. So therefore please subscribe and also hit the bell icon so that you can get notification for any further sessions. Guys, I hope these things are very clear to you. And yes, let's get started. We will do today's session. Again, I have an article today from The Economist. Of course, now this is a source that is very popular with cat. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to create articles, passages for reading comprehension from these sources. I'm creating 10 questions for every set, and we will try and discuss each one of these 10 questions which are based on this passage. I hope this will be helpful, and I hope you will take full advantage of this session. Okay, I hope that's all right. Okay, let us take 2 minutes. In the last class, I have started this uh, routine where we will cover a few root words in every session. So today's root word will be the letter B. The root word is bi, di, duo, and ambi. And what do these mean? All of these mean two or both. Okay. So if someone or something is a biped, it has 2 feet. Okay. If someone is bipolar, then they have 2 poles, right? 2 feet, 2 poles. Okay. If you have a bicycle, then of course there are 2 cycles or 2 wheels. That's a bicycle. Okay. If you have a binocular, then you're able to see things from 2 glasses. Okay, that's binocular, right? The same root word exists as die also. For example, diurnal, something that happens twice a day, right? 2 times a day. Uh, Something can be a dilemma when you are unable to decide between two choices. So, dilemma is having two choices, right? Um, Duo, of course, you will find duo. The word duo itself means two. You can have a duophone where two types of sounds come out. Two sounds, phone is sound, so duophone. Okay, then of course you can also have ambi. So ambidextrous, someone who can use two hands equally well, right? Someone is ambivalent. Ambivalent means having two types of choices, unable to decide. So two thoughts in your mind, will or thought. So two thoughts in your mind. Okay. Uh, so these some of these words, of course, from the root word bi, di, dio, and ambi. I'm sure you can think of some. Okay, using as one of these roots, whether it is bi, di, dio, or ambi. Do make sure you can put this in your chat box also if you know any words from these roots. Okay, I'm sure there are many words. I have not discussed all of the words, obviously. I've given you a few others. You can also choose by yourself. Okay, all right, let's get started, guys. We have one very beautiful passage from The Economist. Let's read it. Okay, here is your passage. What I'm going to do simply is I'm going to open up the passage and I'm going to keep quiet for 2 minutes. So you read the passage, then I'll explain the passage to you, and then we will carry on. Okay? All right, here you go. This is the first part of the passage. This is the second part of the passage. Take 2 minutes, read this one, and then again I will go to the next portion. I'm removing myself from the screen. All right, let's read this page together and then I'll take you to the next page. So it says it all seems to add up to something big. Add up to something, there's something very interesting going on, something big is going on. On a daily, sometimes hourly basis, Elon Musk claims that his team of fiscal commandos means warriors who are fighting for money, has found yet more government fraud, terminated another wasteful contract, or even scrapped an entire agency. Mr. Musk supporters believe that through tech wizardry and sheer willpower, he is he is slashing the federal deficit. Federal deficit means the amount of money that is short with the US government in a way that has eluded politicians. So people think that he's just going to do it magically. But this narrative has a glaring flaw. What is this glaring flaw? Glaring means very visible problem, right? Our review of official data shows that Mr. Musk's effort has scarcely made a dent. Scarcely means have not made a dent. Okay, when you say scarcely or hardly or barely, you're saying it's not happened. So there's not even a very short, they have made a very short, very small change. Every working day, the Treasury publishes a statement detailing withdrawals of cash from its primary deposit account, providing the best high frequency indicator of government spending. So you can see how much money the Treasury is withdrawing. Since Donald Trump took office a little more than 3 weeks ago, outlays have averaged 30 billion a day. Compare that with the same period last year under Joe Biden. Federal spending then came back to about 26 billion. So there is an increase from last year. Outflows from the treasury have actually risen since January 28th, when Mr. Musk first claimed that his Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, was saving federal government $1 billion a day. Here is an actual increase of $4 billion, right? Such comparisons are far from perfect, so there is a problem. Flows in and out of government coffers are volatile, so they change, they keep changing. In nominal terms, spending naturally rises over time. Of course, in actual, uh, in terms of money, it does rise, but actually, is it rising? We don't know. Perhaps outflows would have been even larger in the absence of Doge. So it's entirely possible that the Department of Governmental Efficiency has stopped the outflows from being, larger. And the agency is still in its infancy, it is just beginning. Nevertheless, the gap between Mr. Musk's declaration and his apparent failure to cut spending shows difficulties facing his project. It's a tough game. Mr. Musk is having a tough time trying to control the government spending. All right, here is the second part. Let's read it. I'm again removing my. All right. Let's read this part of the passage also. In large part, this is because of the way America's budget is structured. So, why are they not able to show this change? Is because how the budget is. The government is on track to spend 7 trillion this year. Nearly two-thirds of this consists of mandatory expenses, essential expenses on social security and health insurance. You can't do away with it. Interest payment is 10%. That leaves only a quarter of the budget for discretionary spending. Discretionary means at your own choice, a category which in theory is somewhat easier to trim because it is at the government's discretion. But half of it is on defense, and you don't want to reduce the expense on defense, and the Republicans want to increase the defense spending. So even if the DOGE is very, very aggressive, their actions are actually just 1/10 of the total budget. So how much can they actually save? Now, Mr. Musk says he will produce vast savings by rooting out fraud and waste. Okay, so he's saying that he wants to root out fraud and waste, and that will bring vast savings. In any case, the DOG's effort appear to be pretty scattershot. It is very random. Many of it spending reductions have targeted specific things that Mr. Trump deems wasteful, such as diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility programs. Now, things that are necessary because you want to bring diversity, you want to bring equity, you want to include, you want to make people things accessible. Now, those are not really wasteful. They're socially useful things, and yet these amount to a very tiny sliver of the federal budget. Moreover, some of the reductions came from scrapping multi-year contracts so that the annual saving is very, very little. Okay. Now, none of this is to minimize the DOG's impact. They may have a very good impact. It has already put thousands of government employees on leave. So, government employees have gone on leave, no salary, imagine. Armed with a new executive order from Trump, it is now preparing to make mass layoffs. So, government officials are being fired. Although it may lack the legal authority to do so, but they will still do it. Civil servants are disoriented, confused, and anxious, worried about their future. An outcome that will surely please Mr. Musk, who relishes means enjoys his role in the war on bureaucracy. They're fighting against the bureaucracy. But the core mission of the DOG is to save money. Their task is save money. It's not optional to reduce federal expenses, it is essential. So they have to. Mr. Musk said on February 11th, and on that count, he looks likely to come up woefully short. That means he's not going to be able to reduce the federal expenses. And that's what he's here for. So there is a big problem on that count. Okay, I hope you got that. Now let us quickly look at the questions in this passage. Here is question number 1. What rhetorical strategies does the author use to critique Musk's claim about DOGE? What is this rhetorical strategy that he is using to critique? Critique means to talk about or to discuss Elon Musk's claim about the DOGE. Does he use sarcasm and dismissive language? Does he use data and functional comparisons? Okay, this is interesting. Does factual comparisons? Does he use personal anecdotes and emotional appeal, or does he rely on direct quotes from government officials? Now, clearly, he has not relied on direct quotes because there are no direct quotes. So, D is not a possible answer for us at all. Personal anecdotes and emotional appeal, but again, that also has not happened in the passage. Where is the passage becoming personal? Use of data and factual comparisons. He has given you data. Use of sarcasm and dismissive languages. He has not used sarcasm. The author has brought in a very neutral sort of language in the passage. So sarcasm, no, nothing like that is apparent in the passage. He is very clear about the data and the spending comparisons. He's talking about the actual fact. So therefore, use of data and actual factual comparisons, that is what he has done here. So your correct answer will be option number B. All right, yes, the correct answer is B. Let's take a look at the next question. What does the passage suggest about Musk's strategy for reducing government expenses? So passage is suggesting something. Remember, suggest means it may not be written, but you understand it. Okay, look at option A. It says his focus on cutting waste and fraud may not generate significant savings. Well, he has said something like this, right? His reforms will lead to a more streamlined and cost effective government. Well, this is incorrect. The author does not say anything like that. His approach is widely supported by politicians from both parties. Again, that is not correct, right? His success in cost cutting will likely be evident in the next fiscal year. But again, this is not visible anywhere in the passage, so cannot be my answer. So the best answer here will be option number 1 or A, that is focus on cost cutting and fraud may not generate significant savings. Okay. All right. The correct answer is option number A. Let's go to the next question. What type of government spending does DOGE primarily target for cost cutting? So what kind of government spending? So he is cutting down on, government spending, but which things is he cutting down on? Right? Let's find out. So is it mandatory welfare programs like social security? Is it military and defense contracts? Is it diversity, equity, and inclusion programs? Or is it infrastructure and public work projects? Well, the author has very clearly mentioned this in the passage. If you were to go back to the passage, uh, many of its spending reductions have targeted specific things that Mr. Trump deems wasteful. And what are these? Diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility programs. So these are the ones that we are talking about, right? So your correct answer will be option number C, not A, not B, and not D. Okay. So the correct answer, diversity, equity, and inclusion. These are the things that Mr. Trump does not like, and therefore they're going to be cutting these out. Okay, correct answer was C. Let's take a look at the next question. What can be inferred about government spending based on treasury data? So some treasury data has come. What is the government's spending with the reference to the treasury data? So let's find out. Okay, option number 1 says federal outflows have decreased. Okay, since the doge was introduced, but they have not decreased. They've gone up from 26 to 30. So therefore A is not correct. Treasury outflows have remained stable compared to the previous year. Again, they have gone up, not remained stable, so eliminate. Government spending has increased despite Musk's effort. Yes. The treasury does not provide reliable indicators. No, it does. The passage very clearly says so. This is factually incorrect. So D cannot be our answer. So here the best answer will be option number C. Okay. All right. Let's look at the next question. Question is here. What is the primary argument presented in the passage regarding Elon Musk's role in government spending reduction? So, what is Elon Musk's role in the government spending reduction? What is he doing? And what is the argument that the author is putting forth? Let's find out. So, Musk's initiatives have significantly reduced government spending, making him more effective than politicians. Well, the author does not say that his initiatives have significantly reduced government spending, and also it doesn't say that he's become more effective than the politicians. So A is incorrect. Let's look at B. Despite Musk's claim, data suggests that his efforts have had little impact on federal spending. Yes, they've had little impact, so B sounds good to me. Look at C. Government is now prioritizing technological innovation over traditional fiscal policies due to Musk's influence. This is not anywhere in the passage. Government spending has naturally increased over time, making Musk's reform unnecessary. Again, this is also not there, that his reforms are unnecessary. So that's incorrect. Okay. So best answer will be B. All right. Let's look at the next question. What is the one reason that the passage gives for why DOGE's cost cutting efforts may not be as effective as Musk is claiming? Okay, so why is it that his claims may not be really real? Okay, what is the problem there? So let's understand, there was this entire part of the passage which said that two-thirds is essential spending, then 10% of what remains is defense. So there's only about 10% that Musk can work with. So therefore that has to be the reason why the DOG's effort will not be as great. Look at options. Option number A, the Treasury Department refuses to publish spending reports. That's incorrect. They are spending. Every day they spend. The majority of federal spending is on mandatory programs. So there are no voluntary, there are no space to cut. So this can be a good choice. Government agencies have stopped cooperating. No, they haven't stopped cooperating. They are going to cooperate. So not C. Look at the defense spending has been completely eliminated. Not at all. Defense is so important to the US. So not D also. So the best answer here will be option number B. And that is the correct answer. Okay. All right. Why does the passage compare government spending under Biden and Trump? Okay, to show that the spending was lower before the DOGE was created, yes, why not? To highlight the economic impact of political leadership, too general an answer, so no. to prove that Musk has significantly lowered, but he is not significantly lowered, he's actually increased it. To argue that Biden's policies were more cost effective, we actually don't know. The author hasn't said anything like that. So the correct answer will be A, that spending was lower before the DOGE was created. So the correct answer here, 26 billion dollars a day and 30 billion dollars a day. So that is, there is an increase. What is one potential consequence of Doge's cost cutting measures as described in the passage? So, what is that one thing that will happen because of this cost cutting measures? For sure, what will happen? Well, clearly, the one thing that is for sure that is going to happen is that layoffs in the government jobs is going to happen. And that is your correct answer. Not significant reduction in the national deficit, we don't know. Not a decline in social security and healthcare. These are mandatory expenses, they won't reduce. And a rise in federal tax collection also no. So the best answer will be increase in the number of government job layoffs that will happen. So the government officials are already afraid that they're going to lose their jobs. So that's the problem. All right. So B was the correct answer. Okay, what does the passage mean when it says that Doge's approach is a scatter shot? What's a scatter shot? A shot that scatters, it's not aimed well. So it is well organized. Obviously, no, the tone of the word says this cannot be the answer. It lacks focus and targets random expenses. Yes, this is right. It is highly effective. No, it's a scatter shot. It is scattered. It only focuses on long term financial planning. No. So the best answer here will be option number B, which says it lacks focus and targets random expenses. Okay. All right. Let's look at the next one. Okay. What is the author's attitude? Very clearly towards the DOGE. Is it supportive and optimistic? No. Is it neutral and analytical? No, he's very clearly saying that the DOGE will not be able to do its work. So critical and skeptical, not dismissive. He's not dismissive. He's not saying they'll not do anything, and he's not uninterested. He's interested. So therefore, no. So best answer will be critical and skeptical. Okay. Well, I hope you got this, guys. Okay, correct answer is C, is critical and skeptical. All right. That brings us to the end of today's session. I hope you enjoyed this session as much as I did. I will see you again next week, same time, same place, with one more editorial RC and one more set of rules. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye. See you next week. Remember to hit that like button, share, and subscribe so that I'm happy. All right. That's it. Bye bye.